Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lost Boyz Podcast, episode 11.
The hardest bit of math you'll ever have to do is remembering what fucking episode you're on.
Trust me, I relate.
Every episode is a struggle every single time. But yeah, welcome back. The number one podcast on Mars and in the Milky Way galaxy. Gianni.
Brandon.
And today we have a special guest.
JerrBear. I have a problem with you saying that in front of me. That's disrespectful.
Do something about it.
Just like swinging them over me.
Listen.
I'm JerrBear. I also have a podcast called the Weeping Weebs Podcast. Simply just about anime and mangas, gaming, nerd shit, honestly. But for those who are interested, come check it out.
Link will be in the description below. I promise this time.
Yep, link will be down there. Definitely make sure to check it out. He's one of the co-hosts. There's another one, Kendall.
The other one is Kendall. He's unfortunately not here. He's not in this area of the state. So.
Yeah, he lives unfortunately in Delaware because South Jersey doesn't exist. I'm going to get roasted if anyone from South Jersey watches this.
The best thing came out of South Jersey was Mike Trout. That's it.
That's honestly the only thing that came out of South Jersey. Listen, the way it works is you have Bergen County, Passaic County, Essex County, Hudson County, and there's like a little bit of another county that I don't recall. Everything west of that, Pennsylvania. Everything south of that, Delaware. Those 4 and 5-ish counties, that's New Jersey.
Good to know. I live in Florida now, so don't be shit at me.
But yeah, so we're with Jeremy today. He's also my cousin, our cousin. We're all cousins here. If you couldn't tell, which you can't.
We
None
wish
of
you
us
had
look
cousins
anything
like
alike. But yeah, so just take us through basically what it was like. You mentioned you lived in Florida.
Yeah.
What is life like living in Florida? How many alligators do you wrestle a day? Things like that.
Well, actually, we don't wrestle them. We just shoot them.
Oh.
Hang. That's one of my favorite sound effects. I'm gonna clip that shit and download the MP3 or MP4 file technically now.
Yeah, I think it's a 4.
Yeah, and then just save that shit. I'm gonna make that my ringtone. All you can hear is hang.
I saw one time that there was a Twitch streamer that wired his keyboard or his mouse that whenever he shot, it would trigger his stream to say hang.
Yeah, every time he pressed it, it did actually one hang. He was like hang, and then he was kept shooting hang. Yo, I forgot he did that. Yo, I don't remember who was the streamer himself, but yeah, I did see that. But I guess to get back on topic,
That's genius.
The Florida. Actually, I was born in Jersey originally. I was born in Hackensack, and then dipped from there. Yeah, it grows. Went to Washington Heights for a few years, and then from Washington Heights went down to Florida, bounced around in Florida to where I'm at now. And I graduated high school there, middle school, so I've been there for a grip now. I'm 25 for those who are curious.
I remember when you first moved there.
Yeah.
That's when I moved there.
Yeah. And then y'all left. I was like, oh, that bastard. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. Currently, I run a diesel repair shop out in Florida, and it's doing well for me. I created a podcast with my boy Kendall, and we just kind of got into it because we really got super passionate about anime and manga. It was our I wouldn't say creative outlet. It was more of a source of entertainment that we just really connected with, because it had a lot more deeper stories than people portray it to be, because it does have a large negative connotation. I understand that, especially when I was younger. It was a fucking, you had to hide the fact that you watch it and be like, no, I don't watch that shit, and all that shit. But I'm sure you even remember back in the day when I was watching Naruto when you were still living there.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
I remember you watching it when you lived in Hackensack.
Cat, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or was it Dragon Ball Z?
Probably Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z for
Hear
sure.
me out. Is Dragon Ball Z not anime?
Yeah, it is.
No, it is anime.
I was about to be
Yeah.
Fun fact, so it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
That I knew.
Yeah.
You knew that, you didn't know Dragon Ball Z was anime. That shit's the most anime shit out there.
Bro, I've watched 20 seconds of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
That's it.
I need hot take. Dragon Ball Z's trash. That was cool. Mostly trash.
Hold on.
Listen, if you disagree with that, get him in the comments, bro. Get him in the comments.
Bring it. I can take it all day. I can explain to you why it's trash.
Hey, yo.
Fast forward. Edit that shit out.
Bro, this shit's live.
We
We're getting super chats right now.
Super chats, imagine.
Yeah, look, super chat from Anime Lover 354. A fucking yo.
Side note, real quick. I know we've discussed it before, but at a certain point in time, I would love to take the podcast live, like to just do live episodes.
Yeah, live episodes would be dope.
I think that'd be tough.
Be able to engage with people because I also do Twitch streaming and all that from time to time. What was so fun about it was being able to interact with people live and getting their feedback instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a person who really handles the instant conversation or the instant feedback right away. I can bounce off of that. It makes it easier for me. So then when I see more people in the chat, then it's just it becomes so much more engaging, and you guys would have a fucking blast with it.
Makes it way more entertaining.
Absolutely. Plus, more people get to, because they're engaging more, can stick with it longer. So they're like, oh, jump into when something funny happens or they want to throw in their opinion. You can actually give insight to their opinion right away and go back and forth with them, especially in this kind of podcast.
Yeah, that's definitely something to try out in the future for sure. But yeah, so going back to it, just for anyone who doesn't know what anime is, can you just explain what it is?
Anime.
In layman's terms?
In layman's terms? Sure. Anime.
Non-virgin terms.
Non-virgin terms? I got you.
He's the reason that they stayed in.
Facts. Anime is just animated. Oh my gosh, I don't even explain this. It's actually as simple as it is. It's just animated shows that originated in Japan. Usually based off some sort of source material, whether it be light novels, which is basically just a regular novel, mangas, which is Japanese comic books, and that's pretty much it. Or just they would create their own source material themselves and continue as it goes. But then they would add, music, they add voice acting, the animation, of course. It just makes it all special altogether. For me personally, anime is an incredible creative outlet that has zero limitations to anything you want it to be, in ways that live action shows can never touch, like a regular show can never touch, in my opinion.
Okay. So would you say that's a main factor that draws you in?
Oh, absolutely. I am a detail-oriented person, as you guys know. When I watch an anime, especially when it's beautifully animated, or has great voice acting or great music, I can appreciate it even more. But then I think about everything that you see on the screen. Someone drew that, or someone took the time and created the animation for it, was sitting behind a computer for hours. Every screen that you see, someone put that blade of grass there, someone put that building, that window, that car, that character. They chose that person's hair, they chose everything you see there was created by somebody, by someone's vision. And seeing it come to life is just as a person who does find himself to be somewhat creative, I think that's just awesome.
Yeah, that stuff's crazy how they put all that work into just little clips, man, and then a whole show and series. Mm-hmm. Some of those shows go for years.
Yeah, One Piece is currently 1,017 episodes, I believe.
God damn. Do they have seasons, or is it just straight?
They technically do have seasons. They try to separate it, but it kind of not really, to be honest with you. Nowadays, they did separate it to create more seasons in anime, so they can have it be more consumable and to have a better story, a better plot. Okay. Because when it gets too close to the source material, because sometimes they release it at the same time the source material is coming out, meaning the book and the anime is coming out, and the book's only been out maybe 2 years, and then they release the anime and it catches up to the book, and that could cause problems because they run out of source material. What can you do? So because they start doing the season thing, it works out, because then it's one season this year, let the book gets even further, and then another season the end of the year, or etc.
Yeah. So you're always behind in a sense, so you always have more to create.
Exactly. You don't want to run into an issue like Game of Thrones, where they caught up with the books, and I forgot the name of the brothers, and then the guys who were responsible for Game of Thrones. I don't think either of you watched Game of Thrones.
I've seen a couple, like an episode or two, and that was pretty much it.
And
it was good.
I've seen. If you were to add up every second I've ever watched a Game of Thrones, you don't even have a full movie.
Yeah, no, I've seen a little bit. It was good. I don't know. I just never kept going with it.
It was arguably considered the best TV show ever, probably, some would say, until it got towards season. Some would say 6.
That's a dangerous word.
Bro, but 7 and 8 destroyed it, though.
No, I don't know. No. Best show ever?
Ever.
You must not know about my Peaky Blinders, sir.
Peaky Blinders, this shit, don't get me wrong. I love Peaky Blinders.
That is the best show
that
ever.
That is the best show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll see. That could be a topic for sure. I haven't watched enough shows to have that opinion, to be honest with you. I was going honestly based off of other people's opinions, but it was my personal favorite show.
Okay.
And seasons, I believe 6, 7, and 8 tiered off from the original source material because it caught up with the books. And 6 wasn't bad. Actually, a lot of people still like 6. I liked 6, but 7 and 8 was hot garbage trash. Trash, which should have been ever released. And unfortunately, they ruined the whole credibility of the show. So that's why that's an example for those who just don't watch anime and familiar with like a blockbuster television show. That's something that could happen to an anime as well. Matter of fact, that happens all the time in anime.
Okay.
Which is infuriating.
All right. Interesting. Another question. So, like, if somebody wanted to start watching anime and, like, they have no understanding or idea what anime is or anything, they're just, I want to watch something just to see what the hype is about or why people like it so much. What do you think is, like, a good entry level or, like, a first anime to watch to, like, get them into it?
Glad you asked that. As a matter of fact, the last episode we recorded that's going to be released is going to have 5 animes and 5 mangas from me and my co-host. So we each pick separate 5 on the 2. And it goes based off of a list of most consumed genres out there. So we picked one for action adventure, we picked one for romance and drama, for comedy, we picked one for fantasy / sci-fi, and we also picked one that has like a suspense, thriller, horror kind of thing. We kind of realized they kind of blend in together when it comes to genres, or like when people like purchasing books and so on and so forth. So look up for that. But to give you a quick summary, I would say, what genre do you enjoy the most? So I would ask you, what do you enjoy watching?
Action.
Action? Like action?
Yeah.
Do you like plot, like a thick plot, like that can really delve you into it, or do you like something that's like, it could just be fun, it doesn't need to be too serious, I just want to enjoy it?
No, I like a plot.
You like a heavy plot?
Yeah.
Do you prefer characters, or like you want like dope characters, like a Walking Dead situation? Like people watch Walking Dead. Okay. People watch
like
a lot of
Peaky
Walking
Blinders situation.
Like a Peaky
Thomas
Blinders.
Shelby. Like characters, like these characters play significant roles and it draws you in more. You kind of like relate more to characters in a sense.
Okay. Do you like Quentin Tarantino films?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would say Bacano.
Bacano?
Mm-hmm.
What's that one about?
Bacano is the reason why I say Quentin Tarantino is the plot has so many different things going on with so many different variable of characters that it's mind blowing. Kind of like how
like a Pulp Fiction.
Exactly, because you know how Pulp Fiction had Vincent's story.
Yeah.
It had Bruce Willis' story. I forgot his name. Butch, I think his name was. And oh my God, what was the girl who OD'd? What was her name?
I don't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, her basically had like her kind of like
Yeah.
story somewhat, right? It was the same thing. Bacano had a story about some street thugs who were like kind of like gangsters, and then there was like mafia inside of it. There was a what else was there? It was like a supernatural thing as well that I don't want to ruin in case anyone whoever wants to watch it. Like story as well. They had like so many different plot lines going on, and they get on this train called the Flying Pussyfoot. Yes, the Flying Pussyfoot, and basically it's like one of the, I believe it was the first steam engine, the train that was going from one location to the other location, and in the process of all that happening, there was so much like chaos that was happening, like to the point where like people were getting fucking killed like left and right. The characters were super interesting. The voice acting was great. The English voice acting, specifically why I picked it, just because it has a great English voice acting cast. and the music is fire.
Dope.
I would say go ahead, check it out. It's a bit older, but it was very, very fun to watch. It came Baccano. Oh, it'd be either that or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. What about you?
See, I've already watched my first anime. Like, we've gone through this. I watched My Hero, one season of it, and it was actually really fucking dope.
Well, no, that's 2 animes then. You've seen Avatar, no?
Avatar, that's a hot conversation. It's technically Korean.
It's Korean?
It's owned by Nickelodeon, but its film studio is Korean.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it technically falls under, to be honest with you.
But yeah, from what I've seen in like Twitch chats and shit, it's like, if you consider anime cool, if you don't, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's so in between that neither side genuinely gives a fuck.
Yeah, it's funny because when I was younger, like a bit, I would say, even as early as 2010-ish, even then, I think people were like kind of like still hiding the fact that they were watching anime, and it was like kind of showing up because I got made fun of in school for it, but I didn't really care.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that's become more normalized recently, where like more people are vocal about it, so now more people are willing to like be like, yeah, watch anime.
Yeah.
Because I feel like almost everyone watches anime now.
I think everyone pretty much in the anime community, I would say the fruits of the labor of allowing to like open that gate for everybody is shows like Dragon Ball Z. Even though I shit on it all the time, it did help a lot of people, like especially like the older generation, millennials mainly. Naruto for sure. It was actually one of the most selling series around the whole planet numbers wise. It's one of the most successful around the planet. It was like translated in several different languages. It was huge. And then shows like Attack on Titan came out like in 2013, I believe. 2012 was the first season, and that shit blew up. One Punch Man blew up. It was like those certain like shows that just blew up, and then was able to create more of a following that more people were like, oh, this was dope. Oh, like recording it, putting on like on their thing, like their fucking social medias and shit like that, and it's like, yo, what the fuck, boom, boom, and all that shit. And it just kind of just became what it is now. It's become super fucking widely like beloved. I mean, fucking, you can like go on a Hot Topic buying anime shirts was like the cringiest shit ever because they would put like the most ridiculous shit on their shirt. Like I hated it. I looked at it, was like, ugh. Like as a person who loved anime and like I was trying to get into fashion, I was just like, oh my god, it looks terrible. And then like slowly over the years, like it actually got better. And then you see things like PacSun, fucking. What was it, Coach? I think Coach and Michael B. Jordan had a collaboration where there was like a Naruto shit. And it was like, it's becoming more and more popular. Yeah,
no, for sure. And like, I see it it's way more prevalent now. Like, especially like in my personal life, like I have friends that watch AOT, Attack on Titan. I've seen
just like gas, by the way.
I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes of Demon Slayer just because I've seen them watching it.
That's a rough beginning.
Yeah, I saw the first like 2-3 episodes, but honestly, it was low key dope.
Yeah, the first episode was fire, but after that, it gets rough.
Okay,
a little rough.
I never continued on with it, but like you see it way more prevalent. Like even like, well, I don't know if everyone knows like the Latin artists, but like even Anuel, like his Lamborghini is like wrapped in Vegeta, and the other one is in Goku.
Vegeta,
Vegeta. But no, you have Anuel with the Vegeta Lambo. Bad Bunny out here swearing he's Itachi.
Yeah.
Like you have animes transcending like its own little culture, and now it's like spilling over into just
modern pop culture. Yeah. I think it's pretty dope for the community though. I think the community needed it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my god. I could ease the community, and y'all need to get it one day. I don't have everything ready for it, but there's like certain things that need to be worked on in the community itself because there's a reason why the community needed it. Is because a lot of them have accepted a lifestyle that is just unsustainable, meaning they do not know what it is to take care of themselves or the things around them. They don't know how to better themselves. They don't know what to do. Socially awkward, get just destroyed and crippled by their anxieties or their depression, whatever mental ailments that they have, they let it consume them and do nothing in order to be able to better themselves and just accept it instead of stomping on that shit.
do you think that maybe the fear of not being accepted because of liking anime plays a role into that? Or is that something that just they deal with and it has nothing to do with the anime?
I think it's something to deal with and has nothing to do with anime because, like, nowadays that's not an excuse, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I personally feel, and this may be harsh, but at the end of the day, in today's age, it is widely accepted. You can go to the gym and see beautiful women wearing fucking Naruto gear. I saw it the other day, and it just happens. It is what it is. So I just don't want to. I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear it. If that's your reason, I don't want to hear it. If you're gonna sit here and tell me like, oh, but I have social anxieties, I have such and such, then okay, I can understand that. What are you doing to like better yourself though?
Yeah.
So you have to challenge yourself, and doing like the littlest things can make the biggest difference in your life.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'll definitely say that for sure. Like in my experience growing up, the anime community, like people that were into anime, definitely tended to be more of the reserved, socially awkward kids for the most part.
Me when I was a kid.
And well, I mean, I wasn't around, but I'm not too sure. I can't comment on that. But like, it was almost like there was a lot of lack of social skills for them, and so my wonder is like, is that because they were afraid of being judged for what they liked and not being accepted, and then that kind of like just went on for some time that then turned into just like, this is my lifestyle.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be just that. It's also a multitude of things, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like, how were they raised, right? It's no different from someone who really likes video games, or for someone who really likes some shit like Dungeons and Dragons. Anything that was like nerdy and like kind of lame and all that, you would just hide it, and it could be the worrisome of it ever being found out and them being judged. Sure, but could that cause it? Possibly. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But it gets to a certain point where it's just, the fact is, it's just not like that anymore. So you need to make the change in your lifestyle for yourself. Yeah. You can't sit there and be like that. For an example, I personally was the socially awkward kid. I didn't know how to really like handle social cues. I didn't know how to speak with people. I didn't know how to speak with women. I was weird. That's how I was personally. And I understand in the anime community, or in the gaming community as well, that's it gets glorified having this like neat lifestyle, which is like basically like a shut-in who just does nothing and just watches anime, plays video games, that kind of shit, and becomes honestly just a bum and doesn't do anything with their life. And it gets kind of glorified because they see some streamers become successful by doing it and think that they can do it. Sorry to say, but you're not special. You have to make yourself special. And by making yourself special, you have to force yourself, and you have to force yourself out there. Because all those people that you guys look up to, or that they look up to, they started somewhere as well. They were just like you, but they forced themselves out. They forced themselves in Discords. They forced themselves in Reddit. They forced themselves communicating with people on Twitter. They forced themselves to make YouTube videos and shit like that. They forced themselves to go into people's DMs and make collaborations. They forced themselves out of their box in order to become where they are today. So this whole glorified thing is kind of like it's like a cycle of like fucked upness that they skip a step, where it's like, get yourself outside the box in order to be able to grow, but they stay in this little circle here, this little cycle, and do nothing. So
I know you say like you need to force yourself and things like that. In your personal opinion, other than like just forcing yourself, what's like a in your opinion like a good first step to getting themselves and forcing themselves outside of that box? In your personal opinion,
it does depend on what their issue is, right? So let's say if you have like a social anxiety, something as simple as ordering your own food, setting up your own appointments, speaking to people behind the desk, striking conversation with random people when you get the chance. You have to you're gonna get that feeling in you that really doesn't want to do it, like that you're gonna get that fear, that uncertainty, that embarrassment, especially when it's gonna go bad, because it's gonna go bad. Oh, it's gonna go bad sometimes. You're gonna be awkward, you're gonna be cringing, you're gonna think about it like, oh my god, why did I do that? You're gonna be like doubting yourself so much. You just have to take the leap of faith, and you're gonna have to do it over and over and over again until you forcibly yourself get better.
See, I think that's true to not just people who are trying to better themselves, whether it's trying to not be part of the neat lifestyle you said it was.
Yeah.
Just people in general. If you're just struggling to interact with people, the most common fear in the world is the fear of speaking to people. Yeah. So, in general, it all starts like with what you said. It's not just if you're trying to like ease your way in an anime lane, or if you're just trying to be more outgoing in general. Something as big as what you said, as just ordering your own food or setting up your own appointment, that's like enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough challenge
Yeah.
to get the ball rolling.
I mean, hell, that's what I did personally. I just forced myself to have more conversations with people, and I forced it, and eventually I got better at it to the point where I got kind of good at it at times. And now I don't really have that kind of problem anymore. I can strike a conversation with anybody whenever I want.
I've said this on the podcast before. I had to do something similar when I was working at McDonald's, and I wanted to become more outgoing, wanted to be able to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I used to force these awkward-ass conversations
Yes.
with people at my register. And that turned into me actually being able to have the conversation, which turned into me confidently starting these conversations with like the cute girls that would come up to the counter.
Yeah.
And now, bam, now I'm talking to them. And it's all like, once you start building momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And once you start building momentum, you start improving rapidly.
Yeah, that was same for me actually, because when I started doing the smaller things first, I switched it to my job, and I used my job as basically as that substitute to force myself to have more conversations with people. And I talk to people all over the United States all the time. I work at a diesel repair shop. I have truck drivers coming all over the whole United States going to there, and I've spoken to so many. Some bad, some good, some funny, some annoying, some everything, all up and down, the whole fixture. What about you? Were you always like a communicating god?
No. I think you all know that. No, I've always been. I'd say now I'm definitely more talkative. I'm more likely to strike a conversation or be a little bit more outgoing. But before, when I was younger, definitely not. I was definitely more quiet. Mm-hmm. Like I could sit in a room in absolute silence and not have any issue with it, or like just listen to people talk the whole time. But yeah, no. As I've gotten older and just like, I guess just becoming more confident with who I am and myself, like in just all aspects of life, it kind of like trickled over into like me being able to talk to people and like just having the confidence in knowing what I'm saying, by also educating myself too.
Yeah,
which I think is very important too, because like,
absolutely,
especially like for example, and if to tie it back into anime, like maybe maybe your most knowledge comes in from anime, and that's what you know most about. I mean, you could find communities, groups, put yourself in Facebook groups, which is super easy way to network, and just talk to people, set up a day to hang out, actually meet them in person. Maybe you see somebody in person, you start talking to them like, oh, what are you interested in? Then they ask you, oh, I'm actually into anime and things like that. Who knows, maybe they like it. Start talking about anime, boom, now you got a new friend, somebody new to talk to, and then you start building a social circle, and now you become more confident in speaking to people and going out and willing to admit, like, oh yeah, I watch anime and this and that, and you start to realize not that many people are going to judge you, and not many people really care, to be honest.
Nobody give a damn,
yeah,
bro.
it's like, oh cool, like,
Nobody
that's cool.
cares.
Yeah, I mean, people in the anime community will be like, oh shit, dope, what do you watch?
Yeah.
And then boom, then you can have like intimate conversations with them. But if you just like kind of like stick back to yourself and live that like neat life, then you just kind of like, I don't know, just you stay stagnant, like, you know, like you were saying, you don't progress. And I don't think that it only applies to like the anime community, it applies to everyone.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Like you mentioned, gaming. If you're somebody who just like smokes weed and stays home all day, if you just stay home all day, like if you're very like I know a lot of people will say like, oh no, but I don't like people. I think that's like one of the worst things I hear. Like whenever I hear somebody say, oh, I hate people, I'm like, do not hang out with him or her. Like, I do not want to associate with you. Why do you hate people? And most of the time it's just they lack social skills, and then they become they say they're antisocial because of it. But in reality, they just don't have the confidence in themselves.
Okay.
At least that's my take on it.
I think confidence is a big one, for sure.
Confidence is the key to everything.
The biggest thing.
But to bring that back to how you started that, if you lack confidence, chase competence. And with competence comes confidence. Because, like, let's say you know your shit about anime, right? And you run into somebody who's rocking said Naruto shirt, right? You can have a conversation with them and you're going to be okay with it because you know what the fuck you're talking about. And that goes, like, honestly, up until we started recording, I was like, yo, whatever, the anime community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to see so many parallels between the anime community and just any other interest.
Yeah.
For example, I grew up loving the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody knows about the stock market. If you try to explain it to somebody, they're just going to think, oh, market crashes, you lose a lot of money, right? If you try to explain anime to other people, they're just going to think disgusting things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's like, oh, there's so much more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just building, not so much building your personality off that, but making that a tool of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can use something like anime, or for me it was stocks. Like, you were heavy into athletics, right? You can use these things as ways to shine your personality through.
Yeah, because it's funny you mentioned that, because those parallels is something I want the community to realize exist, right? So one of the biggest goals for the podcast much later, I want those set parallels to be realized and worked on so that they can open themselves to other communities as well. So they don't one-trick ponies. Because you can't have a conversation about anime with everybody, man. You gotta get some substance in yourself. You gotta educate yourself a bit into other things and find other outlets and find other things to do with your life. You can't just solely fact on this unless it becomes your job. If it becomes your job, then I understand, right? So you have to, take care of yourself. And this could fall in anything. You need it. There's simple things you can do to better your life. As simple as getting more sleep every day, getting all 8 hours if possible.
So key.
Exercising. Important as hell, obviously. Eating clean, or working on eating cleaner. At least make the attempt to eat cleaner more often. Drinking water. Plenty of water.
Drink your water.
Yeah, cover the drain.
I'm done with the free sponsorships out here. The free marketing.
Send your invoice.
Yeah, the invoices gonna be coming.
Yo, Retro Fitness has like 80 invoices. Haven't heard back yet.
You know what's funny, real quick, off topic? A lot of the reviews we got for like the first few episodes was love the Retro Fitness hoodies. Like,
yeah, it is dope. You should put a piece of duct tape on it.
Duct tape, you just write Lost Boyz.
Nah, I'm gonna just put a little accent on top of the Izmi retro.
Retro. And just remove the fitness part.
Yeah, retro.
And another source of income. Yeah. Always be another thing. That'll just better your life as a whole. Finding another source of income. Of course, I can't sit here and act like I figured it all out. I'm still locating that second source of income, but I've been trying to in forms of looking online for like side things, cryptocurrencies, anything possible that can like interest me. At home jobs, you can make so much money just so something simple as your cell phone right here. Mm-hmm. If you have a skill, monetize it. Don't do it for free. I'm sure there's some way you can monetize it. Hence why I created a podcast in the first place. Not just to make money out of it. I do think the anime community needs some help in many things, but I also believe that we could. What's the way I could word this?
Improve.
Yeah, I guess it's something as simple as that. So profound. I feel that we can improve that in so many ways, honestly. Yeah. God, you're such a genius.
I had a brain blast.
For real.
But yeah, so I know you're into crypto as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that journey kind of like for you? When did you get into it? And what got you going and believing in it and all that stuff? Because I know, like, for a lot of people, for crypto, when it was first, like, popped off, it was a lot of people were, like, skeptical about it. Like, it's just, like, some
it's
BS.
It's a scam. It's a bubble.
And, like, there was a whole bunch of stuff with that. Especially, like, Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was the one that really blew up. Which is crazy because I remember the first time I heard Bitcoin, I want to say I was a senior. It was 2017, I think it was. Was it 2017? Yeah, it was either 2016, 2017. And it's funny how I heard about it. I was on the bus back from my baseball game, and one of my teammates was trying to buy a fake ID from my other teammate who gets it from the black market. And he told the kid was like, "Oh, how much do I got to pay you for it?" He was like, "No, don't pay me in cash. Pay me in Bitcoin." And I remember hearing that. I was like, "The fuck is Bitcoin?" I was like, "Is that how you have to like buy shit on the black market?" And I was like, "Oh, whatever." And then like some time went by, and then out of nowhere, Bitcoin just popped off out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh wow, I missed that trade completely." That kid's probably sitting on millions right now.
Yeah, you just still don't think much
Bro,
of it.
he was like 16 at the time. He's like, "Yeah, pay me in Bitcoin."
Yo, that kid winning. If he still has it.
Yeah.
And what about you? What was your initial like introduction to crypto?
Similarly, probably to you, I first heard of Bitcoin because of Joseph. I had to have been a junior in high school, 2016, I would say. And just like, one of those times when we would go ball and shit, I remember he mentioned something and I was like, what the fuck is that?
That's my brother, by the way, for those who don't know.
And it just like, but it left my mind like entirely, and I never thought about it again until like, crypto picked up more steam, and then suddenly I started knowing more people who were interested in crypto. And then out of nowhere, it was the holy grail of existence. And it was like, oh, well, you should have you should have bought crypto back then, because now it's at 60,000 or whatever.
I think it peaked at 60,000. 62, I think.
Something like that. I don't know.
I forgot what it
I'm
peaked
not really
at.
into crypto. I'm trying to get into crypto now. I'm a little late to the game.
Nah, you're never that late. If you think about it as like in a sense of like, say, currency, right? Think in the history of money. How old is the stock market?
Yeah.
And relatively speaking, crypto is really, really, really young and still
like 10 years, right?
Something like that. Not even. I think it's more. I think it's a bit more, but it's still relatively really young. Really, really young. Satoshi the creator of Bitcoin. Satoshi was like first in development of Bitcoin like in '99, I believe. Yeah. But I don't think it launched until like way later. Yeah, I forgot the exact year. Time. Oh, absolutely. Oh gosh, absolutely. Yeah. For me, crypto, when I first got into it, was from Joseph as well, my brother. He broke down crypto to me like a bit. Actually, no, the first time I ever heard about crypto was we were watching a Super Bowl, and one of the guys I was watching the Super Bowl with, or before the Super Bowl, wanted to make a bet and wanted to make the bet through using Bitcoin. I was like, what the fuck is Bitcoin? And he was like, oh, it's a cryptocurrency, man. You gotta look into it. And this is like, I want to say 2015. I think it was 2015. I did not look into it at all. Obviously, my mistake. And I just I didn't think nothing of this shit. And then like years later, halving happened, which caused, essentially what halving is when they cut the mining rewards in half for Bitcoin. And as it may be shocking to some people, it causes the value to go up. Okay. When it does that. Think of like the School of Economics of Austria. If the scarcity.
Yeah, scarcity causes demand, and so therefore price.
Exactly. Yeah. And what are the principles of there? Yeah. Or characteristics of money, I should say. That shot up fucking like Bitcoin up like crazy. And I remember Joseph mentioning it more and more, even before it starts, just like super shoot up. So I've been knowing about crypto since, I want to say 2015, but I got into it a bit 2017. I got into it heavily 2020. Okay. Was like super into it. That's when I got like into Ethereum. I started looking at altcoins. Altcoins are essentially just coins that is like not in the main things like the Ethereum, oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Ethereum's not mainnet. Oh my god, what the hell was the name of it?
Blockchain.
That's what they all run on.
Yeah, but they each have their own separate
A code for a blockchain.
chain.
Token.
No. I'm drawing a blank, but...
All right, I'm out of my crypto words.
But it is basically like the other coins that do not fall under like the main like known coins. It's like the newer coins that are constantly coming out and so on and so forth. You know, there's things like Ripple out there, right? Or I mentioned things like Luxel to you before. Mm-hmm. I've mentioned Basic Attention Coin. I've mentioned a few coins that I've
the most powerful one too, Luna.
Oh shit! Oh man,
Luna was like probably behind Ethereum, right? In terms of popularity, at least.
In popularity, it was really up there.
Yeah, and then like it literally lost all its value. Like it's like has 0.00 something.
Ooh, so now
that thing just dropped.
It ruined people's lives.
Yeah,
man.
people lost millions.
Millions of dollars. KSI lost millions.
Yeah, he lost like 3 million.
I get the love for crypto, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is where what everybody loves about it is kind of what's shooting it in the foot in terms of really gaining global attraction or gaining global adoption is so I'm a stock guy, right? That is where certain regulations could be super beneficial.
Absolutely.
Because think about it. Yeah, you're not going to have the $1 trillion jumps that you're going to get in the crypto market, in the stock market. But if a stock was to go down that much, it gets shut down and your money freezes. So you'll never go to zero in the same day unless like fucking 2008 happens where the biggest banks in the world just decide, nah, you know what, we're closing our doors. But like for example, when they started dumping GameStop, what happened? The NASDAQ just freezes the stock. So at least your money, it doesn't go to zero. That's super dangerous. Granted, risk versus reward, right?
Yeah, people love cryptocurrency because it's decentralized, or crypto, I should say. People don't even like calling it cryptocurrency anymore, just crypto. Because it's the decentralized factor, like the government doesn't have a hand in it, technically, right? And because of that, you know, people all over the world like, oh, this is where it's at, this is the future, this is where it needs to be. It needs to be to the people. They need to be the ones in control and all that shit. And it sounds great, right? And it is great. In times, it's actually the reason why so many things are successful. Like the reason why Bitcoin is where it's at is because it was decentralized. Ethereum was at where it's at because it was decentralized. But that's why people lost millions of dollars in Luna is because it's decentralized. There's no regulation. For those who don't know, Terra Luna was a coin that lost its peg. It's a dollar its token that was pegged to the dollar. So once it's lost its peg, its value fucking dipped massively. It went from like, it was floating in the 80s, like $80 or so range, and then it went from like the $80 range to like 30 in a day, and then went down to like a few cents in the next day. And then after that, it's below a cent. I believe to this day it's below a cent.
Yeah,
they're trying to do things to like recover it, what they can do, but that ship has sailed. It's done. There's no way. They like created a lot more tokens within the contract, it's smart contract, in order so more people can purchase it and try to save it, but it's no longer ever going to be the same value as it was before. Just mathematically speaking, if you purchase all the tokens that exist out there at its current market and then multiply it at its market cap, it's impossible. Its market cap right now is like at a few billion. It will never see those numbers again. Those people will never get their money back. For the ones that really lost millions or thousands, whatever that dollar amount is, that shit is gonna be gone. Sorry to say for those who
that's
purchased.
crazy. Yeah, and I guess I'm not in the crypto world, so I don't know too much about it, but I've done a little bit of research, and I guess one of the things that like kind of helps crypto in a sense is that it's more like it's up to the person where their money goes in.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's up to their research and how much they look into. Because for example, like with the Bitcoin, although it's dropped a little, it's shown to hold its value for the most part. And I think
well,
it's dead, but like not in the sense like a Luna where like it's at zero.
Yeah.
Like it may have dropped, but it's still expensive. Like I can't afford one Bitcoin.
It's $29,000 right now.
Yeah, like I don't have $29,000 to just throw in Bitcoin like that. And so that's what I mean by it. But
until they get them sponsors, so y'all need to keep watching. and get these boys a Bitcoin.
Yeah, facts. Yo, retro. Pay me in fucking Bitcoin, bro. I want those invoices in Bitcoin.
Yeah, for real.
But
help us get some Bitcoin. Like and subscribe. Comment down below.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Continue.
But what I was gonna say was, I guess what dictates like the volatility of crypto, to my knowledge, is the scarcity of it. In a sense, if I'm understanding it correctly, because like for example, like I was, to my knowledge, and I'm not in crypto, so everything I could be saying could be complete bullshit and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I don't know, but I found out that Bitcoin, I think it only mines up to like 21 million coins, something like that.
There's only 21 million available.
Yeah, so that scarcity.
Only 21 million will ever be created, and then after that, no more.
Yeah, then it caps.
Yeah.
So that scarcity is what causes the
correct. Yes.
The rise
okay,
in the
no,
price.
I got you.
Yeah, so in a sense, because it's never going to go past that, it's going to maintain its value longer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as volatile as maybe some other coins where they can
have like a 10 billion or 100 billion, 200 billion. Yeah,
exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So to my point is like, although crypto is volatile and like it can be a situation like that can happen where you lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more for because it's that decentralized, it's actually more on you as a person. So if anything, you have more freedom in a sense with your money.
That's why people love it so much.
Yeah, so it's more like if that happens to you, then that's your fuck up. Like you didn't do your research.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because there's times where people do get rugged, but that again, it is a big saying in the crypto. It's do your own research. Yeah. It's a big saying in crypto. You have to do that because if you get burned, that's on you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I do feel guilty because it was a very reputable token. Like a lot of people who are new of this token, that it deserved all the hype that it had behind it. It seemed very reliable. No one saw this shit coming. Well, some did, not many, but it was just it's just very unfortunate. Yeah. Now for how to go about picking a crypto, I guess, would be have like your own do some more research, but you want to learn exactly things like mass adoption, right? For me, like the future of crypto only exists as long as it can be adopted to your real world. So look for cryptos who are working to adopt into the real world. That's number one. There's gonna be a lot of cash grabs out there that just stay away from them shits. Sure, you could probably make some short-term money at the time, but there's a good chance you're gonna get rugged. Meaning, someone's gonna take all that fucking money. You're gonna put money into it, pump it, and someone's gonna slide the rug right under you and cash in all that profit for themselves. So you gotta be careful where you put your money into because there's a lot of scams out there. It's dangerous. It's a fucking wild, wild west out there, boys. Yeah. That shit will fuck you. I've been rugged. It thankfully wasn't a lot of money by no means, but I've been rugged. Yeah. And it was a risky thing that I attempted, but it is what it is. I accepted the fact every dollar you put into invest, be ready for it to be gone the next day, if so be. That's play money you use at all times. There's one thing that I could say, no matter what indefinite, whatever you put into investment is play money. Do not fucking stress if it's to go on the next day, especially in the crypto world. Yeah,
I think that's super important. Yeah, there's too many people that their emotions get too involved.
Absolutely. They get emotionally invested because they see their money going up and down, or down to zero, or up fucking 1,000%. And they don't know what the fuck. Oh my god, I wanna take this, and I wanna go buy a car. I wanna go buy this or that, and then maybe pull out too early, or maybe they're just like just right where they want it to be. It's like, oh, okay, it's perfect. Boom. It's like have strategy as well. Strategy is very important. Know how much you want to buy in. If you want to continue buying in, or DCA, dollar cost average, and just periodically purchase throughout the period at a separate period of time, however you want to say, and constantly build your portfolio. But again, you want to do that for like a crypto that you trust, a crypto that you did your research in. It's like, okay, they're doing this. Okay, now how many of the tokens out there are in distribution that are ready to be used? Okay, and who owns these set tokens? Because thanks to these set blockchains, you can go on. Let's say if it was made on the Ethereum blockchain, you can go on like Etherscan, for those who don't know, and see exactly how many are out there, this max supply, and who are the holders. If it's a governance token, meaning like, okay, it's free for the people to just purchase, or if it's a token that where venture capitalists came in and purchased them, they're gonna get they own like say 25%, and then the other 25% is owned by the guys who created it, and then the 50s is regular Joe Schmoes out there purchasing it. You gotta be careful with that shit, because if that shit pumps, and these guys are bad people, the 25% who made it are not good people, and the other 25% is just some fucking venture capitalist firm who like say, fuck these guys. They take that fucking money. Once it's 10x their bags, they take that shit and run away from it. So be careful when you see how they split the tokens as well. Shit like that. That's why I say you want to do your research, because if you don't pay attention to little things like that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Your money's gone.
Yeah, I know like I've heard like a lot of people have controversial topics and opinions on altcoins and things like that. Some people like to call them shit coins.
It's
a popular term.
Shit coins that definitely exist out there.
But what is your most controversial like take, I'd say, per se, on crypto, like a specific crypto or just crypto in general?
Decentralization will never work indefinite.
Why do you think that?
Because when I say indefinite, it gets to a certain point where if you really want crypto, let me rephrase what I said. Crypto will never get mass adopted unless some given from the decentralization and just become normally regulated. And therefore, we can see it truly bloom to what it can become.
So in a sense, they would have to give up some of that power of like not having any government touch or fuck around with it.
Absolutely. Ripple's main goal technically wants to get into banks. I mean, its original purpose was to get into banks. How are you going to get into banks?
Wasn't Ripple's...
Gotta get your ass in there.
Yeah.
Wasn't Ripple's initial, like, not to say ploy, but like their initial
goal
was, was that you can like transfer money and everything within like
within seconds. Yeah, it was like being able to do wire transfers anywhere around the world in the country, from bank to bank. It didn't matter from where, and it was a very quick transaction because it was going through a smart contract. And ideally, it sounds great. You know, it sounds that sounds fucking amazing, right? Sure, but in order for you to do that, you need to be. I'm sorry, but the truth is, you need to be in the banks unless you guys start opening banks. And I'm sorry, but like I need a lot more at this point if you're gonna like sit here and want me to join your bank, especially the fucking crypto bank. It's the king of scams. It's one of the kings of scams is crypto, and that's the truth. But I love crypto because it can change your fucking life within a week of investing into something. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like I'm spreading FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is what FUD stands for. It sounds like I'm spreading FUD, but in actuality, this is just the truth of the fucking dice game. You need to know what the fuck is up, or you will get rolled.
Yeah. I mean, I think that applies to everything in life. Like even the stock market, everything's a gamble at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like you're at the craps table and you're just rolling the dice and hoping you hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no guarantee to know 100% this is gonna work out. You could do everything in your power to try to make sure it will.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you just gotta let the dice roll.
Yeah. You have to.
That applies to anything in life.
If you want to change in your life, you got to do something. You got to do something against sometimes you got to fight the waves.
Yeah.
And the waves are coming constantly. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, shit, I've lost money and I've made money in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a patient man. I'm going to be holding on to certain investments for a while. What the hell are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at him.
I call him dozing off.
Yeah.
Dozing off?
Yeah. It's
Bro,
also...
I've been up for almost like pushing 20 hours straight.
What time is it right now?
It's like 3.
It's like 4 in the morning right now. We're recording this.
Oh, yeah, it's 3:09.
Yeah.
I'm going over here to get no sleep.
Yeah, it's funny because I felt myself doze off and I caught him looking. Yo, it was literally like, you know, like if he was peeking over the bush, like watching the creepy neighbor type vibe. I just caught his eyes locking in. And I was like, yo,
because you just see him peer over my head.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh shit, that is funny. I don't remember what I was saying about crypto, but yeah, decentralized. Some needs to give in to like the whole idea of only being decentralized, so they can have proper regulations, so there could be mass adoption. Not even mass adoption, but mass acceptance, because that's what people are scared of, is because there is no regulation. So if you have mass adoption, you will get mass adoption at that point, which then would create more comfortability within the market, and therefore more people will start looking into other cryptos. Is kind of like how I played it on my head. I could be wrong. Shit, someone let me know if you think otherwise. My brother watches this. Lord knows his ass is gonna give me his opinion, but I think he kind of agrees with me to that degree. I'm not sure. Or other people out there.
We'll find out when the episode drops.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start giving you like a crypto quizzes, because I know you've been trying to get into it.
Yeah. I'm starting to dabble little by little and just learn little. I'm not trying to go too hard that I overwhelm myself. I'm like, what the fuck, and then I just stop.
Paralysis of over-analysis.
Exactly.
So much information out there, man.
Yeah,
Could be overwhelming, so you have to take your time with it.
Yeah. So, for my penultimate questions, my second to last question, what crypto would you recommend to a beginner to jump into to first get their feet wet?
It's gonna sound lame, but honestly, Bitcoin at all times. Understand what Bitcoin is, why does it exist, who created it, how distribution works of it, its goals for the future. Throw yourself into like the biggest one first, and then after that go to Ethereum, and then after that then have free will, have fun. I think Bitcoin is going to pretty much do its thing from here on out. It's going to be the two safest ones, in my opinion, is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, so many tokens are created under Ethereum's like
blockchain.
Yeah, that it's just gas fees alone in order for them to be able to make transactions on that chain is going to be, that shit's going to be fine. And 2.0 is going to be coming out, so it's going to be constantly evolving. Bitcoin is going to be fucking Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the godfather, the overseer, the deity of the fucking of all, right? He's like Zeus, just chilling there with his fucking, like, his
staff.
Staff? He ain't no damn staff. He ain't a wizard.
Isn't a staff just like the fucking like
a stick? Yeah, it wasn't a stick. It was like a trident or some shit.
The fuck is a trident?
You ever seen like Poseidon?
Why would Zeus have that if Poseidon has it?
I think I've seen he could pay him in trident layers.
Like and subscribe.
No, it makes sense. Why would he have a? Why do I remember him having a trident?
I'm sending trident an invoice.
They call it slack.
Why the fuck do I remember that? It doesn't matter.
But anyways, yeah, I get the point. One thing I actually learned too is that like you don't need 29 grand to get into Bitcoin. Like you can actually buy fractions of a Bitcoin.
That's also a great thing about these cryptos. There's quite a bit of them that allow you to buy just a fraction of them. If you're interested, there's ways to purchase these things like that are. There are exchanges that you can purchase cryptos in, like Binance.us, Coinbase, KuCoin, Gate.io. You can just go ahead and purchase certain coins just simply with just your credit card. You can purchase with fiat money. So
gotcha.
You're good. If you're really that interested, do all the research as much as possible. And for those who are scared, I understand. It's a lot of work and it can be very, very intimidating, but trust yourself, educate yourself, and be willing to take that leap if you really want to make a change. Yeah. Not just in crypto, but in any other form of this. The same principles apply in if you get into real estate, if you get into fucking coding, if you get into, or what is it when you offer your service? Freelancing, in anything that you do, just throw yourself in there, do the research, and work your fucking ass off.
100%. I agree.
What about you guys?
About us and what sense?
What was the question?
Making sure I'm testing you. Nah, essentially, y'all not really into like the crypto shit. So, what are things that you guys look? Well, you're starting to look into crypto. So, what ways are you looking to find yourself another source of income or way to?
This is my headstrong focus. I would say, I see the value of crypto, but it's just. I don't see it being a focus of mine. The cameras. I don't see it being a focus of mine. Mm-hmm. I rather create the stream of income like another business and then use that as like a placeholder. I'd rather treat crypto the way real estate is treated. You know, you put your money in there to hold your money.
So like stable.
Yeah. But for me personally, I don't see myself jumping into crypto as like, to be my main stream of income anytime soon. I'd rather dabble the routes of like businesses.
Yeah, there's ways like you can make passive income in crypto. I would highly recommend people to look into things like, well, it's looking tough. Yeah, you can do like staking, but you gotta be careful with that. Yeah. Nodes or NAS, which is Nodes as a Service. Gotta be careful with that shit too. Do your research, people. There's real bread out there to be made in the crypto market, in passively as well, but you have to do your fucking research. I would honestly recommend for those who have that said trade skill, use that as freelancing, things along that nature. Look into like focus groups out there. You can make money like that. Side gigs, side jobs. Find yourself a second source of income. People, please. That'll fucking make your life so much easier in a sense where you don't have to worry about a bill. And that alone is just so like mind freeing, relieving. Just helps you sleep better at night. Because like, man, money problems is one of the biggest problems in America. Yeah. For your average American.
In the world.
Yeah, true, in the world.
Yeah. But I mean, with that being said, I know there it goes. And all that's left is the audio. But with that being said, well, actually, we could ask the final question. Just leave a
put something on the screen.
Lost Boyz logo for the ending of just the audio only.
Yeah.
My last question is going to be, what advice would you give either to your younger self or to just anyone out there that may be a little lost, dealing with social anxiety, things like that, whether it's because of they feel like they won't be accepted for things they like, like how the anime community used to feel, people that want to like get better with finances into crypto and just overall life in general?
If I can go back to my younger self, I would probably say, don't let your insecurities overconsume you. Persevere through it. Stay true to yourself. And don't give up on what you're currently. Never be afraid to try the new thing that you want to. Because you never know what could come out of that. There's some things that I never continued to push forward when I was younger that I kind of do regret. So with that, I could have gotten those skills that I needed, those social skills. I could have gained back self-esteem. I could have had more confidence. I could have had probably a very different life right now. So I think I would say that.
Sounds good.
Yeah? What would you say to yourself? I'll go with Gianni first.
Honestly, try more things when I was younger, because I feel like I focused so much of my time into baseball, and I played it up until my freshman year of college, that when I stopped playing, when I quit, I realized I spent my whole life dedicating to that one thing, that I never tried anything else. And it's been a struggle, like, of just trying to figure out what the fuck do I like and what interests me and what do I even want to do. And because I spent so much time doing one specific thing, I never explored my other interests. So now it's like I'm trying to play catch up and like trying to figure it out. But in a sense, I don't have like people, like whenever I tell somebody like, oh, like, you know, like I'm not really sure, they always say like, oh, like, what did you like doing as a kid? All I did was play baseball as a kid, but like I don't have that love for it no more. So it's kind of like this lost sensation, like, well, what do I do now, kind of thing. So I guess to my younger self, I would say, even with playing baseball, try to explore other alleys that you may find. And anything that came to your mind that you thought, oh, this might be cool, just try it, because it may have helped you in the future.
And you, Brandon?
I just feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be able to relate to that.
Yeah, I call it post-athlete syndrome.
I like that.
That'll be a whole episode one day.
Yeah.
For me, I would say, stop fearing the consequences of everything. Understand that it's not about playing the sport for the outcome. It's not about talking to the girl for the outcome. It's for the act. Live more in the moment of the act, not so much stressing, oh, that's not going to work or anything like that, and fearing what could be or what can't be, and just do more, test more, just experience more. I feel like, at least for me, for a strong period of time, I was too focused on, well, is this going to work out? I wouldn't approach a girl because I was like, well, what if she... I feel like everybody has had that at one point in their life. Well, what if she doesn't like me back or whatever? So, you probably don't end up talking to that girl. Like, fuck all that. Just go for the experience. Just go do everything.
Nice. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to wrap up. That's the end of Lost Boyz Podcast, episode 11. We've covered anime, crypto, and advice to our younger self. I'm Gian.
Brandon.
Special guest,
JerrBear.
JerrBear, sorry. You could check him out on his podcast called
Weeping Weebs.
Weeping Weebs. There you go.
With
him and Kendall.
Sir Kendall.
Yeah. And then his links will be in the description, so make sure to go check it out. Subscribe, like, comment, turn the post notifications on, and get us both going in the algo. Come on, baby. Number 1 podcast.
I still can't believe you're doing that today.
That's why I stopped and looked at you. Number 1 podcast on Mars. Sorry. You can have Earth. I got Mars, though. Mars is my home planet.
That's cool.
With that being said, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.